Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our Plant of the Week podcast, brought to you by Bonide Products, family made in America. Visit Bonide.com to find a retailer near you. Each week, Plant Talk Radio's Fred Hauer focuses on a plant that would be a great addition to your landscape. Now for this week's Bonide Products Plant of the Week.
Well, again, it's Mark, it's plants. A couple to mention again, as it turns out, because they're just starting. And that is, number one, the chrysanthemum as we used to know it. Now, hang on. Don't worry about spelling. It is now called a mesembryanthemum.
No.
Yeah, I think mum will do.
Mum, yeah.
I have one that is a bright golden yellow. The flowers are about the size between a quarter and a 50-cent piece, at least the last time you saw a 50-cent piece. And they are coming on really strong. Right near them, a little bit in the aster group. And then, of course, I've mentioned again and before in years as well as a week ago, the sweet autumn clematis. I have two areas. One makes any of three trees bloom a second time because it grows up in and over them during the course of the summer. And then I have them in a new spot, which is a bit of a screen between me and my neighbor's patio. Now, my neighbors are wonderful people. We just like to read our own newspaper when we're out there. And it is so white. So many flowers, you can't see the leaves at the moment in time. And then what little time I've spent at home, if there's a quiet breeze, especially in the early evening, and you're downwind, it is so fragrant, almost drives you back in the house. And that's not normally a major problem. Then we come to my favorite weed, called ironweed. Those that I pinched off at about 3.5 feet earlier in the season have regrouped as such, and they're standing about 4.5 feet tall now. The ones behind those that I didn't pinch or cut back are about 7 feet tall and just absolutely full of flower right now. Now, the only problem with those plants is that they're a little generous with seedlings. I'm finding them in many places after having had the plant for a while, but it screens my garden. It is a magnificent background right now, sturdy as it can be. I don't know if it's a Ohio native, but it's certainly been around a long time. You can see it out through the countryside as well as roadsides and so on, but a beautiful plant. And then I have to mention the plant Caryopteris, which is, I can't think of the other name right now, but it's a beautiful plant at about 2.5 feet high and wide. Most of them are in the blue, magenta type color range and just absolutely full of flowers right now.
Thanks again for listening to our podcast, brought to you by Bonide Products at Bonide.com. Plant Talk Radio offers other podcasts as well, including our daily Your Gardening Question podcast and our weekly Plant Talk Radio, all available on iTunes or your preferred podcast player. If you have a plant suggestion for Fred, send him an email, fred@planttalkradio.com.